Thank you, Commissioner.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
My name is Justice Mohammed Ibrahim of the Supreme Court and the Commissioner.
Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Keago.
Good morning.
My name is Fatuma Sichale, Judge of Appeal and Commissioner. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
My name is Charity Kisotu, a commissioner. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Kiago.
Good morning.
My name is Nzilani Caroline. I'm a commissioner. Karibu.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mheshimiwa.
Good morning.
Oluwande Evelyn, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, commissioners, for that introduction. Honorable Kiango, we will shortly be engaging you on your application that you made to the Judicial Service Commission for the position of a judge of the High Court.
Yes.
Before we delve into the interview, please confirm to us your county and your ethnicity.
Thank you, Chair. My county is Kisii County.
Kisii.
I'm a Kisii by tribe.
The first set of questions will be read by Commissioner Macharia.
Welcome again. Two questions to be precise. One, I see from your CV, you had a brief stint in the private practice before joining the judiciary, where you've largely been. Now, we are looking for people who will be impactful as judges. And for them to be impactful, it must be based on the experience and achievements, rock solid achievement that they've made. Because, you know, you have to be alive to the fact that there are many applicants who are all equally good. Now, could you indicate to this Honorable Commission what you think, you know, you have in terms of achievements, and you demonstrate with specific examples of the achievements you made, not on the management side, in terms of decision making, because you're looking for judges who go and determine matters.
Thank you, Commissioner. I have served in judiciary from the year 2004 when I was appointed as a resident magistrate. And all along I've been making decisions which have gone to the Court of Appeal, and most of my judgments have been confirmed, and I've been receiving feedback from the case back mechanism. Also, when I was in practice, I did take up some matters which I felt that touched on the society, more particularly when I was in Bungoma. About 3 matters that I handled, although I was not paid as a counsel for the reason that I have just joined practice. And I was approached in one of the cases where a lady from Maraba town was arrested and placed before a Cadiz court, charged, and then she was ordered to pay some damages for plastic surgery. And when I appeared before the Cadi, he refused to give me audience, and therefore I had to move to the High Court before then, just midday. And the proceedings were quashed, and the lady was set free. That's one case I remember that really touched me. There was another one also within Machakos where one person was charged in a criminal miscellaneous proceeding, and he did enter plea, and pursuant to those proceedings, the accused or purported accused moved to demolish a rental premises with the intention to evict the occupants. Chair, through an application to the High Court, although I did not succeed in setting aside the orders, somehow I was able to forestall the process. And the only reason why I never got the orders was because that I had used the wrong procedure, which I think I didn't agree with it, but I respected the decision. And subsequently, when I moved again back to the High Court for director. The decision was quashed. I had filed an auto motion, Chair. For the entire period that I've been, including up to recently, that's this year, just as I said earlier on, I have already gotten about a feedback of 3 cases which went to the High Court and they were confirmed between January and now. These are matters that I've handled, both in Baricho, Machakos. Yeah, Machakos, 2 of them, and then 1 in Baricho. That really demonstrates that over time, I have learned and developed the capacity to be able to understand on how to deal with matters, however challenging they may be before me, and be able to come out with correct decisions on issues that have been placed before me. So I have a feeling that I'm qualified and competent. In terms of legal practice, I have a grasp of the procedural and administrative law, which I always apply when I'm dealing with most of the matters that have been placed before me.
But you see, Yona, somebody may also tell you that that's the ordinary expectation, of any judicial officer.
Sure.
So you have to show something that separates you from the ordinary, something extraordinary, considering the fact that there are also other applicants, and that's the bare minimum that is expected of you. Now, let me move to this next question, which is, in your view,
Yes.
how would you define an extremely good judge? Because there are those who you appoint, you'll never hear of them again. They are just there, but there are those who become outstanding, and they make impact. So, how do you define that impactful judge, the one who will be extraordinary? Could you state 2 characteristics of that judge, and then relate it with yourself and show that, if we look at your track records, you actually become, you can be categorized amongst those who are extraordinary judges?
Thank you, Commissioner. I expect a judge to be able to do his work as a judge in hearing and determination of cases promptly and with a lot of integrity. I admire judges who handle their matters with respect and decorum to the grounds that we normally serve. And that really motivates me when you look at the reasoning, the judgment, the outcome, even when you consider the set of facts that were presented. So I admire such kind of judges. And when I relate it to myself, I have the capacity in terms of patience. I'm able to hear parties without any discrimination or bias and be able to make a determination regardless of the circumstances of the case. I have the stamina to be able to hear difficult matters and also be able to make a determination without any fear of anybody or from any quarter. Yes.
Yes. Thank you. We will continue with that line of conversation
Yes,
on your ability to apply and interpret the law, especially the Constitution.
Yes, my lord.
And I'll take you to Article 22, which deals with the enforcement of the Bill of Rights.
Yes, sure.
And I want you to tell me at least 4 of the reliefs that a court can grant under Article 22.
Yes.
All of them.
Under Article 22, which is the Bill of Rights and Fundamental Freedoms, the court may divine a right which has been violated by an action.
What did you say? Say that again.
Divine, identify that this right
Define.
has been violated, and therefore seek remedial of it.
What do you call that in terms of an order of a court?
That will be declaring that right.
Uh-huh.
Yes. The court also may order for an injunction restraining a party from violation of that right of a party. The court may also order some form of compensation where a right has been violated.
Yeah,
Yes.
those are three.
The fourth one,
And,
it cannot come in immediately.
okay,
Yes.
yes. Okay, moving on. Of course, the Constitution protects fundamental rights, but there are certain rights that are limited under the Constitution,
Yes, my lord.
and they can be limited also by registration. Which are those rights that can be limited?
I think which cannot be limited or limited.
Which can be limited?
I think where somebody has been charged of a criminal offense,
Yeah.
its freedom to move freely can be limited by law. Yes.
That is not particularly provided in any article. Do you know of any articles of the Constitution that limit some rights?
There is an article, my lord, that I saw, but it cannot, I don't know whether it's Article 23. I cannot be able to remember it precisely, but there are some which are limited. I don't know whether it's a right to life or something like that. I can't remember as of now.
Okay, that is also not one of them. So you can refresh on that.
I will.
Yes. Which are the most prevalent court cases in your jurisdiction? I gather that you are the CM in Nyahururu.
Yes, my lord.
Yeah.
In Nyahururu, that is Laikipia County, we have quite a number of land cases originating from the settlement fund trustee matters, where we have
So
issues of double
predominant litigation in Nyahururu is land matters.
Yes, and succession also for us.
Succession.
Yes.
Issues that are impeding the prompt.
Sometimes you find it's family disagreement where parties are not able to agree, especially where the family is extended, where we have more than one spouse. So sometimes they will not agree.
So what are you doing to expedite matters in that area?
Your leadership, when I went to Nyahururu in 2023, I had just left Machakos where we had launched the court annex mediation. So when I went there, I was like, there's no court annex mediation. So we were able to request the registrar court annex mediation, and we set up a registry for mediation, which is up and running, and they've been assisting us in sorting out those cases. Number two, in our CUC, we have been communicating through the administrators, so now they can be able to assist members of the public to be able to understand the need to come to a consensus, especially on family matters, without necessarily having to fight. And we have also been engaging the RSK chapter to be able to support us in terms of trying to settle those matters, although still there is some slight challenge.
Okay. Commissioner Orlando.
Thank you, my lady. Good morning once again, Honorable Kiago.
Good morning, Commissioner.
I have two questions for you. To start us off, maybe you can explain to us what you understand by special damages as opposed to general damages.
Commissioner, special damages, these are actual expenses which have been incurred, especially in running down accident claims. They are special in that they have already been incurred, although sometimes they may include some future medical expenses, special damages.
And general damages?
General damages, this will relate to the awards made under where somebody has suffered injuries, which cannot be quantified immediately when the claim is being filed, but will be quantified as evidence is being taken and consideration of the documents which have been submitted.
Okay, those damages are not usually limited to accident cases, but more or less we get what you mean.
Yes.
So now there is a claim for loss of user.
Yes, Commissioner.
What is that claim and in what category does it fall?
A claim for use will be
Loss
in
of
the-
user.
loss of use will be in the category of special damages. If
First of all, explain what it is and then tell us the category.
loss of use will apply to situations where somebody has like a vehicle which is supposed to be using for its daily operations, either business or personal use. And when it's involved in an accident, is not able to use it for that intervening period. So that will be like he will now be claiming for inability to use it because of the accident.
Okay.
So that will be loss of user that will be claiming for the period when the vehicle will be under repair.
So in what category does it fall?
I'll place it under special damages. I think it's under because it has to be very specific.
Are you sure about that? Just revisit the definition you gave us or the
Special
meaning of-
damages.
Yes. What did you say special damages
I
is?
said these are expenses which have been incurred.
Yes.
So when I'm talking about loss of use, I'm looking at a scenario where one has either hired a vehicle to use in the intervening period, then it will be a claim for the expenses incurred while using other means of transport.
I'm asking this question because I was looking at your sample writings.
Yes, Commissioner.
There is the CMCC number 271 of 2017.
Yes.
You remember it? There is a claim for loss of user where the police, I think it was a malicious prosecution case.
Yes, yes.
The police confiscated a camera.
Yes, Commissioner. I do
Yes.
remember it now.
So in that context, would you still talk of hiring a vehicle? Because the claim was that he uses the camera to earn a living.
To earn a living, yes,
So
Commissioner.
is that special damages or is that general damages?
I will still consider it to be special damages because that claim was like I used to earn money from photographic business that I was doing.
Okay, what is the principle when it comes to special damages? When do we award special damages?
Where they have been pleaded and proved specifically
How do you prove special damages specifically?
by production of documents, either receipts of what you incurred.
So in this case, if the camera is confiscated, what would he be using to specifically prove the claim?
Commissioner, I had expected that this witness was to avail records of the transactions he was doing, either in terms of bank statement or payments, his business. I was earning this money. And then that will move it now from special damages.
I wanted us to
Yeah.
get there. Okay,
That will
thank
move
you.
it from special damages.
Thank you. Thank you, my lady.
Thank you, Honorable CJ. Your Honor, I
Yes.
have a few questions for you.
Yes, Your Lordship.
What was the Bangalore principles of judicial conduct? What was the main subject? The principles were mainly themed on what area? On judicial conduct.
It's a judicial conduct on issues of integrity and transparency. Yes.
Any other?
Accountability and property. Yes.
Independence?
Yes, even independence is included.
Okay.
Yes.
Where do you find, where have we codified the principles of the Bangalore principles of judicial conduct? Where have we, in Kenya, codified them?
Your Lordship, they are codified under the judicial code of conduct and also under the constitution.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Now, you have heard of the principles, or rather the terms, judicial activism
Yes, my
and
lord.
judicial restraint.
Yes, my lord.
What are the different and judicial restraint? And in the course of that, maybe even tell us what they are about.
I've heard about them. And my understanding of judicial activism is decisions that are going outside the ordinary. What has been used before. Like I think there is a recent decision that was declaring the government proceedings, provisions of the government proceedings, either illegal or something like that, which was now allowing the execution to be done against government properties. We had not had any decision like that before.
So you're thinking, are you talking about judicial restraint cases or decisions which are of unprecedented or unique?
They're unique because they go outside the ordinary.
Outside, what do you mean the outside the ordinary?
I mean, when
Isn't it a question of interpretation?
it is a question of
So
interpretation.
it was this judge's interpretation.
Yes, they interpreted it, but you see, there was no expectation that such interpretation could come out like that as the way it came, Commissioner.
Okay, since it appears, okay, I don't know whether the matter is sub judice. So far, I've not ever heard of an appeal. I'm not sure anyway. But what is your view? This is an interview.
Yes.
It's not an appeal.
Yes.
But you, as Justice Kiago,
Yes.
if you are in the High Court, what is your view?
I would consider the common good. Yeah, because
not the application of the statute itself.
Yeah, the statute and the common good will come into it, because I'll be looking at a scenario. What are the likely consequences of whatever decision we are making? What impact will it have in the society and even the government? Because if that decision is correct, my lord, it means that tomorrow even the commissioners might be attacked by the roadside or something like that, and then first that may be over by the commissioners.
Okay.
Yes.
Now go to judicial restraint.
Judicial restraint, I would take it to mean where a decision is made in a way that is within the constitution, but you restrain making certain decisions because they will have a negative impact in the society. With that, I have in mind where there are no clear provisions of the law governing that particular issue. Court should be.
So one is a restraining approach is one avoiding or one that is conservative, right?
I would think so.
Okay. Is strict application of stare decisis a restraining in nature? Is it a restraining approach? Restraint of the judicial's of the judge?
I would think so, my lord.
You think so? Okay. Okay, fine. Thank you very much. I think that's all from me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning once again, Your Honor.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Thank you for welcoming us well in Nyahururu when we visited and engaging the partners. It shows you have a very good working relationship with them. So keep up the good work.
Thank you.
If appointed a judge, what will be your approach to interpretation of the Constitution?
My approach to interpretation of the Constitution will be guided by precedents of the Superior Court, where certain provisions of the Constitution have been interpreted. I will also be guided by the principles within the Constitution itself, which is to interpret it purposefully and for the common good.
What is your understanding of purposive approach to interpretation? And you can cite a case law within our jurisdiction that has expounded the same.
The purpose is intended to address those issues that have been raised and trying to deal with them. That's the way I would interpret it. What case comes to mind? Not one immediately, Commissioner.
If you find there is ambiguity in language of a statute,
Yes.
what would you be expected to do?
Ambiguity in language.
Language, yes. Within a statute, yes.
Within a statute. I would make a decision on that ambiguity and declare it so that it's ambiguous and it's capable of being understood, and then probably recommend that the same either be amended or be corrected through an incidence application through the legislature.
So where will you go to beyond the statute?
Beyond the statute. I think there will be also some international instruments which can assist.
We are talking about language,
The
of a
language.
statute.
The language of a
So
statute.
it's not clear.
It's not clear.
There is no clarity. So there is ambiguity in a word within a statute. You're expected to go further to a particular issue to see how you can try to establish what the intent
Was. I think I'll do that under general interpretation.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Have you had an opportunity to review any Hansard
No, I
from
haven't,
Parliament?
Commissioner. I haven't,
Okay. Thank you. So if appointed as a judge, you will be assigned legal researchers
Yes,
who will
Commissioner.
be supporting you with research and opinions.
Yes, Commissioner.
At the end of the day, the decision is yours.
Yes, Commissioner.
How are you going to ensure you defend your decisional independence when you engage legal researchers?
First, Commissioner, I would have identified the issues that on. So their support will be on addressing that issue. So once they put in their opinion about that issue, I will also on my own confirm whether it is are in agreement with my also thinking. I would also have thought about it, about the issue. It will not be that I will be just leaving them to them alone. So I will still be independent, but that information is supposed to assist me to come up with a decision that is independent.
So maybe you can just show how you have handled a case. You have said it's ready for a ruling or a judgment.
Yes.
So once you're done with court, how are you going to show that you're going to be independent from what the legal researcher would have provided you with?
Now, if there be an issue that I don't agree with the legal research that has been submitted, then I will go on my own. So it's not binding. The researcher's opinion or finding is not binding on me.
Okay.
So I will be able to distinguish whatever that will have been submitted and go with my finding regarding, because I also do my own research, although there might be some challenge in time. But I will basically look at what they have said, my own opinion and what I feel about the issue, and any research that I would have done. So if they agree, then I will deliver the same. But if I don't agree, of course, I think I will be able to share in a way of building with that.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Keago,
Yes, my lord.
for how long have you now been Chief Magistrate?
I became Chief Magistrate in the year 2020. I think this is
So it's
my
about
fourth year.
4 years.
Yes.
And at the station where you're currently working,
Yes, Commissioner.
how many magistrates work under you?
There are 4, plus me, we shall be 5.
Okay.
Yes.
And how busy is that station?
It's quite busy. We serve a big area up to Baringo County.
You know,
Yes.
geographical area may not be that important, because you know there are
Yeah,
some
well,
areas which are thinly populated.
but reflected in the data, my lord.
All right.
Yes.
So have you been able to get the report of your performance from the Directorate of Performance Management?
Yes, my lord, I was given a copy.
When did you get the copy?
I think sometime in the course of this week.
Okay, and you looked at it.
I did.
You are satisfied with what is contained therein?
Yes, I saw it. I had a discussion with the Depop team, and they explained to me what it was.
So the number of cases, the court productivity is given as 312 cases.
Yes, my lord.
And the resolved cases by yourself between 1st of July 2023 and 31st of December 2023 is how many cases?
They were showing 222.
222.
Yes.
And in terms of percentage, the expected percentage was 20%.
Yes.
What was expected of you?
I was expected to deliver at least a minimum of 20%.
But
But I got 14%.
14%.
Yes.
And then again, your overall performance in comparison to average court performance is given at 74%.
Yes.
All right. I don't know whether you've been listening to the interviews that we've undertaken so far, and more so as it relates to chief magistrates.
Yes, my lord, I did.
And I don't know, again, whether you've heard that some of them have actually exceeded what is expected of them.
Yes, my lord.
So what do we do in your case whereby you actually fall below par in terms of the work output?
I internalized that report, and I was transferred to Nyahururu last year. And when I went there,
You know, this is for the period 2021 to 2021, 2022, 2023 to 2024.
My understanding of that report is that this is the first time that I'm falling below bar in my performance.
This is the first time that you're
falling below bar in terms of delivery of output as an individual.
So if you fall below par, we have about 100 candidates. We have 100 candidates
Yes.
to interview.
Yes.
Chief magistrates have come here and they have
Yes.
performed exceptionally well.
Yes.
Now, where does that leave you?
That's what I wanted to explain. That upon my transfer, there were quite a number of land matters that were pending before the court. And for some time, it took a while for proceedings to be prepared, parties to come by for purpose of preparation of judgment. And they were not just ordinary land matters, and most of them were before my court. So it took a while. Number two, my lord, my transfer came while I was on leave. So I still carried some more matters from Machakos that I was handling. So I was running 2 stations at the same time, which kept coming to Nyahururu that I was working on.
Even with that explanation,
Yes, my lord.
the very minimum that one would have expected is you to get 100% and not 74%, given that other chief magistrates have actually exceeded the 100% by a big percentage, say, of 50%.
Sure.
Anyway, that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. And I have only 2 questions for you, Your Honor.
Yes, Commissioner.
You've been in the institution of judiciary for how long?
I'll be 20 years come 1st of June.
Okay, about 20 years. Now, would you just pick 2 principles in Article 10 and 232 of our Constitution and tell us how you have applied in your course of work?
In Article 10, it's on the issue of integrity, leadership and integrity. It's a trust authority that has been given to us as state officers, where we are required to.
You sure Article 10 deals with integrity, leadership and integrity?
Article 10. Maybe my commissioner have missed it, but I was thinking it's under chapter 6. But
Share with us how you will handle a situation where your personal belief conflicts with established law or legal precedents. And if you have a case in point, just share with us.
When you sit in the judiciary, we basically apply the law that is there. My personal belief in terms of faith or custom will not come into play. I have a case in point about what we can call a special category or gender, the issue of gender, mixed gender, which has been an issue for some time. My understanding is that we are all created differently and different linings and approach. So what one thinks about his approach to that particular issue of gender and sex really would not affect me as a judicial officer in terms of administration of justice. I would just follow what the law says, regardless of what I believe in, because we all believe differently, we have different faiths, and it will have no effect. Yes.
So finally, what style of leadership do you practice?
I'm transformative.
Why? And demonstrate to us.
The stations I've worked, I'm now in my 4th station from the time I joined judiciary. Whenever I've gone to the station, my approach has been to identify the areas that have a challenge and seek remedies on how to address it almost immediately so that we can be able to move in service delivery.
Okay. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Mheshimiwa, 2 questions for you.
Yes, Commissioner.
The first one, please demonstrate circumstances when you would use the approaches, the following approaches to decision making. And while at it, maybe you could tell us the merits and demerits of each. The first one is command decision making. The second one is consulting decision making. And the third one is consensus decision making.
You said command, consensus?
Yes, command decision making, consensus, and consulting.
In terms of consulting, there are issues that are there for the common good, as in terms of a station that will require that you have to consult the other members of your team in the station and even stakeholders on certain issues. Like when we were setting up the court annex mediation, first we had to consult with the staff within and even the RSK on how best we can be able to set it up. And then come up with a common ground. Although sometimes you might not agree free, but once you have a certain percentage of agreement, then you'll be able to move on.
So how do you settle on the decision?
On the decision, I will weigh what is the higher percentage in that consultation. are the majority for it or is the minority? If it's the minority, then probably you may have to consider another approach towards this. In terms of command, which I think is rare applied, this would apply to where certain things have to be done, whether you have a choice or not. For instance, if you require attendance of a party in court and then it doesn't come, then you would have to make a decision that this person, either he has to be arrested and availed in court, either by choice or by whatever means. That would be a decision I think I would consider to be a command that would be coming from an individual. Consensus, I would assume, is where now you build on it from the initial stages, and you agree as a team that this is the direction we are taking as a team. And that will constitute of maybe a full agreement with all the team players. So it will be applicable, especially for teamwork, team events, and other activities that are for the common good.
The second part of my question?
Yes, Commissioner.
The merits and demerits of each?
Of each. Where you consult and you're able to determine the level of agreement, you have high chances of succeeding because it will be having the support of the majority. The demerit to it is that it takes a little bit longer time to be able to reach a resolution to any issue because it will involve time being taken to consult and also to consider the other views that have been given. So that will require some time. So there will be some little bit of delay. The same will apply to consensus because you will have to build it over time with the people that you are consulting. So in terms of the demerits, the consensus also will require some time. But where you have a consensus, then you have a success that is almost 100% achievable because you've all agreed. When it comes to command, the advantage is that somehow it will be done, but the disadvantage is that it may not be done, and therefore you run into problems.
So with command, you said that you issue and everybody needs to follow.
Yes.
What if you issue that command and there's rejection and it's not followed? As a leader, what do you do?
As a leader, I will seek to establish why it was not complied with and see whether probably I need to change the approach and give it a different approach rather than command.
Is it possible to give a different approach when it's time bound? When it's a decision that needs immediate action? Is it possible?
If it is something that maybe that can be done by myself and the other parties are not ready to do it and it's time bound, the likely effect is that I will deal with it so that I comply with the time reins. But if it's somebody else who's supposed to do it, then my approach will be to address that issue, why it was not done, what is the challenge, and then escalate it to some other quarters.
Okay, I will take that. Now, my last question to you is regarding a report that we have from
Yes.
the Ombudsman office.
Yes.
It's a matter that you handled at Nyeri Law Court.
Nyeri Law Court?
Yes. There's a matter that is under investigation.
Commissioner,
From Ojo?
I've never worked in Nyeri Law Court. That should be Macquarie, I think.
No. Yeah. Okay. It's the same one, and it says new. Are you under any investigation with Ojo?
Not to my knowledge. I'm not under
Okay.
any investigation on any issue.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I will leave it at that. Thank you and all the best.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, commissioners, and thank you, Mr. Kiango, for this. On behalf of the commission, we wish you well, but we always give a candidate an opportunity to ask the panel any question.
Thank you, Your Ladyship. I do not have a question for the commission, except that I want to thank the commission for the opportunity they gave me to appear before this panel for purpose of being interviewed as a judge. And two, for the opportunity that has been given to me to serve the judiciary for the period that I've been there. I find it's a pressure when I make a decision that have an impact on society, and the society appreciates what I have done so far. I want to believe that I fit the shoes of the higher calling, considering the number of years that I've served and the experience that may be utilized in the higher calling for purpose of service delivery.
Thank you once more. And we wish to encourage you to continue working hard and making decisions that impact on the society positively. You are holding a position of leadership as the Chief Magistrate, and we wish you well. We will get in touch with you when we complete the exercise. As you know, we are evaluating 100 applicants for 20 positions.
Sure.
So we wish you well, and we'll get in touch when we complete the exercise.
Thank you.
Take our greetings to the people of Nyahururu.
I will, my lord.
Have a good day.
Thank you.